Okay, boys and girls, what is competitive advantage? Okay, what is competitive advantage? So, competitive advantage refers to the factor that allow a company to produce goods or services better or cheaper than its rival. This factor allow the productive entity or the company to generate more sales or gain superior margin or profit compared to its market rivals. So, competitive advantage are attributed to a variety of factors actually, including cost, structure, business structure, branding, quality of product offering, the best distribution network, intellectual property, and as well as customer service. So, when we talk about competitive advantage, we need to understand what competitive advantage is. So, when we talk about competitive advantage, normally competitive advantage generate greater value for a firm, better money, better profit, better revenue, and it provides the shareholder eh, a better return because of certain what we call strength or certain condition that is favorable to the business. So the more sustainable the competitive advantage, the more difficult it is for the competitor to copy or to neutralize these advantages. So when we talk about competitive advantage, there are two types of competitive advantage. Yeah, um, they are when we talk about competitive, there are two types. Yeah, so one is comparative advantage. The second one is differentiative advantage. So when we talk about the term of comparative advantage, yeah, this is what we can say about the ability of the company or the firm to produce goods or services that is more efficient than its competitors, that which lead to greater profit, create a comparative advantage. Now, normally, a rational consumer will choose the cheaper of any two perfect substitute offer. This is economic 101. Yeah. For example, a car owner will buy gasoline from a petrol station that is maybe 5% cheaper if there is any. Yeah. So if let's say we are competing on price, the company who compete on the cheapest would always be what we say successful than a company that sell higher than their competitor. So for imperfect substitute like Pepsi versus Coke, for example, higher margin for the lowest cost producer can eventually bring superior returns. So this is we talk about efficiency. So when we talk about efficiency, we can also talk about economy of scale or efficient internal controls or maybe geographical location. Yeah? These are the factors that can create competitive advantage. So when we talk about comparative advantage, it does not only imply on a better product or services comparatively, it only show the firm that can offer a product or services of the same value at the lower price. So it is always about pricing. Yeah. For example, a company that manufactures product in China may have lower labor costs than a company that manufactures in the US. So it can offer an equal product at a lower price. So in perfect competition, the company in China would have advantage over the company in the States. Yeah. So when we talk about that is on comparative advantage. Then we have differentiative advantage. Now, differential advantage is when a firm or a company, yeah, uh, their product or their services is differing or lying from their competitors. Eh? So meaning to say they are actually producing the same producing, yeah, almost the same product but with different what we call it technology pattern or maybe a superior company in terms of their people. eh. So when we talk about differential advantage, it's always talk about brand identity. It's always talk about brand identity. It's not about price, but it's about brand. Is how do you actually differs from your what we call it competitors. Ya, macam contoh Petronas and Shell. How did they differ? Yes, they are selling the same thing, same price, petrol, but then again, how did they differ? So when we talk about differential advantage, it's about the differentiation, about differentiation. So in a nutshell, when you talk about competitive advantage, right, it is something that you have that you can use to beat your client. Either it is cost or just being different. So that is on the competitive advantage.